Adjusting Entries Part 2. Hi guys, this is Sir Jesse and ngayong gabi. For this evening, we will be continuing our discussion on adjusting entries, particularly unearned income and accrued expenses. But before we go into the discussion, there were some changes sa workshop namin, yung seminar on building your own cafe, because there were a lot of interested participants that are not available on September 26, and thus it was moved on October 12. And the good thing is it is a Saturday, so I believe it would be favorable for a lot of us since may trabaho ang iba on Monday to Friday, and Sabado, Saturday is usually a vacant day, a day na available ang mas marami. So, ayun, see you on October 12. Okay, so we will have the ferals or the unearned income. So, it is an income already received but not yet earned. Ayan. So, natanggap na natin yung cash in relation to this order. However, it is not yet earned because the service was not yet rendered. Okay? Not yet rendered, or the goods are not yet delivered. That is why it is considered unearned income or a liability. Ayan. So, recorded using the liability method. So, pagkatanggap natin ng cash and it is considered a liability, or entry would be debit cash, credit, unearned income, or unearned service revenue. So, the explanation for that would be receive cash for services to be rendered. So, again, we will be rendering the service at a future date. And then, the adjusting entry would be to debit the unearned income and then credit income to record the earned portion of the liability. So, after you render the service at a future date, then that is the only time that we will be recording an income. However, wala na tayong i-record na cash because we already received the cash at an earlier date. So, let's have an example. On August 1, Dr. Frost received 90,000 pesos for dental fees to be rendered in the next 6 months. Take note of the date, August 1, and then give the adjusting entry at the end of September. Take note that the 90,000 pesos is good for 6 months. Therefore, in terms of the consumption of the service, parang magiging ano siya. So, 90,000 divided by 6. So, that would be, magkano yan? I'm not sure. 15? 15,000 per month yung magiging income natin for every month na dadaan. Okay, ang hirap magtagalog, no? Anyhow, the entry for this example would be to debit cash 90,000 on August 1 because we received 90,000 pesos. And then, unearned, take note ha, unearned dental fees po yan kasi nga we are to render the service, the dental services on a future date. So, receive cash for the dental services to be rendered. And then, on September 30 ba? We will be recording income amounting to 30,000 pesos. So, sir, bakit 30,000 pesos? Because again, every month, we will be recording an income of 15,000. And from August 1 to September 1, that is 2 months. So, we include August kasi August 1 yan. And then, the September kasi September 30. So, in terms of counting, September yan, tsaka August yan, tsaka September. So, that is 2 months. So, 90,000 divided by 6 months, that's 15 per month, times the 2 months, August, September. Therefore, 30,000 should be recorded as an income already. So, of the 6 months na in advance na binayad ng client natin, we were able to render 2 months already. Therefore, magre-record na tayo ng income. So, if we will be having a T account ng unearned income natin, unearned, it initially started with 90,000 and then we have a 60,000, we already have a 30,000 adjustment. Therefore, the balance of our unearned as of September 30 will be 60,000 na lang. Next example, on December 1, 2016, Potot Co. Company received 48,000 pesos amount of advance rentals for 6 months. Again, take note of the date, December 1, 2016, the amount, 48,000, and the period it will be covering, 6 months. So, provide the adjusting entry at the end of the month. So, at the date of the receipt of 48,000, we will be debiting cash since nadagdagan yung cash natin. And then, we will be crediting an earned rent income. So, the 48,000 serves as an advance payment from the customer. Therefore, wala pa tayong income. Hindi pa po yan income. So, utang pa po yan. Good for 6 months. So, at the end of the December, tanggap natin, December 1, we will be making the adjusting entry on December 31. Therefore, meron ng 1 month na natapos. And since the 48,000 is good for 6 months, meron tayong i-record na 8,000 pesos every month. And since 1 month lang po siya, we will be only recording 8,000 pesos as a rental income. Therefore, debit unearned rent income, babawasan natin yung utang natin, and then we will be recording rent income. So, if we will be making a T account for our unearned rent income, nag-umpisa tayo with 48,000 na utang, natapos na yung 8 ng iyong isang buwan, therefore, 40,000 na lang yung balance ng unearned rent income. Good for 5 months. Next, example number 3. On March 1, 2015, Finland Tutorials received 60,000 pesos, representing an advance payment for services to be rendered in November 2015. As of the year end, only 70% of the expected services was rendered. Okay? So, again, take note of the date, March 1, 2015. Take note of the amount, the money they received. And then, since this is an advance payment, representing advance payment, this will be recorded as an unearned service income. So, on the date of the receipt of the cash, 60,000 pesos debit, and then credit unearned service revenue. So it is expected na by November 15, ma-render na daw yung lahat ng yung buong 60,000 pesos in relation to the tutorial services. However, as of year end, only 70% of the expected service was rendered. Therefore, of the 60,000 na supposedly finished na by November 15, only 70% pa lang daw yung na-render. Therefore, 70% lang din yung nare-record natin na income. Therefore, meron tayong adjusting entry na debit unearned service income, 42,000. Service revenue, 42,000. Saan galing yung 42,000? From the 60,000 that was paid times the 70% na na-render, therefore, 42 pa lang. So, if we will be having a T account of our tutorial services, we started with 60,000 pesos as our initial liability. And then, nakapag-render na tayo ng 42,000. This represents na 70%. Therefore, we need to render 18,000 more tutorial services by next year. So, 18,000 na lang po yung utang natin in relation to the tutorial services. So, that's it for the unearned income. Next one would be the accrued expenses. So our expenses already incurred or used but not yet paid. Adjusting journal entries at the end of the accounting period will be like this. So in accounting, in the accrual method of accounting, we will be recording expenses as of the time that it will be incurred or used. So hindi siya kailangan na paid na para i-record natin siya as expense. So once nagamit na natin siya, na-consume na natin, or na-incur na yung particular expenses, regardless kung nabayaran o hindi, we will be recording those things as expenses. And then, for the adjustment, debit expenses, credit expenses payable, or accrued expense. So, parehas lang po yan. Whether you use payable or you use accrued expense account, those are still payable. But personally, I prefer using the the payable na account because mas madali siyang matandaan. So, pagkabasa na natin na payable, it automatically gives us an idea that this is a liability. So, mas nasanay ako. Although, this is still correct. So, for example, example 1. Okay, for our example number 1. The company received a Davao light bill in the amount of 9,800 on December 31. The company intends to pay it on January. Ito na yung sabi ko. Na-receive yung bill on December 26. However, hindi pa po siya babayaran until January 8. So, in the cash basis of accounting, January 8 pa siya para-record as expense. However, take note that this bill is for December. That is why, whether nabayaran na ba siya or babayaran siya within December, we will have to record it as an expense on the month of December. Kasi nga, it's for the December usage. Okay? Take note, the bill was not yet recorded. Provide adjusting entry of December 31, 2017. So, this is an example of an adjusting entry wherein meron tayong dapat i-record pero hindi natin siya na-record. Supposedly, itong bill na to dapat December 26 recorded na ito. However, it was indicated that this bill was not yet recorded. And by December 31, nakita siya na hindi pa siya recorded. Therefore, kailangan natin gumawa ng adjusting entry for it. So, simple lang. With debit, utilities expense, credit, utilities payable. Okay? So, to record unpaid utilities for the month. Straightforward lang siya na ganun. For example number 2, unpaid salaries at the end of December 31 amounted to 18,800. Then provide adjusting entry on December 31. Again, this is just straightforward. We will be recording salaries expense and then salaries payable 18,800 because at the end of the year, December 31, 2016, meron naman talaga tayong salaries expense because our employees have already rendered the services. And then, we will just be setting up a payable kasi nga, hindi pa naman natin siya mababayaran. This is actually a simple problem. So, let us have this example, no? Wherein, ito typically yung mga example na mas mahirap. So, for example, we have the following week na nahati siya into December tsaka January. And then, the problem indicated that Friday binabayaran yung mga employees. Assuming that the daily rate is 500 pesos, record the adjusting entry. So, assuming na isang empleyado lang tayo. So, ang i-record natin na adjusting entry would only be for Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Therefore, that is 500 times 3. That is 1,500. Therefore, the adjusting entry for December 31 would be salaries expense, 1,500, and then salaries payable, 1,500. It will be paid on January 2 pa. So, meron yung reversing entries and then the recording of the payment. However, we will not be discussing this one. Okay? So, let's go to example number 3. On March 1, 2015, Alcaraz Tutorials borrowed 300,000 cash from Metrobank to be used in the business. The bank loan is payable after 3 years with an annual interest of 15%. Provide the journal entries at the end of the 2015. So again, take note of the date, March 1, 2015. Take note of the amount. And then, since this is an interest-bearing loan, meron tayong 15% na interest expense. Take note that in this example, si Alcaraz Tutorial is the borrower. Okay? Tayo po yung borrower. Hindi po tayo ang lender. Therefore, in relation sa utang natin na 300,000 cash, we will be paying an interest expense. Interest expense po, hindi interest income. Because again, we are the borrower. And take note, pag interest po ang pinag-uusapan, tumutubo po yan, nadadagdagan po yan as time passes by. So, umutang tayo March 1, 2015, and by the end of the year, kailangan natin mag-close ng books, and at the same time, meron na tayong dapat bayaran na interest. That is why, in relation to the journal entries, the entries on March 1 will be straightforward lang naman. We received cash from the bank, 300,000, and then we will be also recording a liability amounting to 300,000. Loans payable po ang i-record natin. On December 31, however, since meron interest, corresponding interest yung inutang natin, therefore, we will be recording an interest expense amounting to 37,500. And then we credit interest payable 37,500 or accrued interest expense. Now, a lot of students get confused with this one because they are boxed into the idea na nagkaka-interest lang ang isang utang pag binayaran na ng cash. However, again, kalimutan muna natin yung standard practice na yan in relation sa utang because again, we are following the accrual method. Interest runs by on because of time. And since meron ng mga months na dumaan, therefore, we have to record interest expense. So, paano kinuha yung 37,500? So, take note that the principal is 300,000. The rate is 15%. And by the way, pag meron tayong nakitang rate and hindi siya naka-indicate kung good for how many months yan siya, we will be assuming that it is good for 1 year. Okay? Automatic na po yan. 1 year talaga. Unless otherwise stated. So, principal times rate times time. Sir, saan po galing ang 10/12? Take note that nangutang tayo March 1. And then, mag-adjust tayo on December 31. You have to count how many months na po ang lumipas from between this period. So, we include March, the month of March because it started on March 1. So, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So, that is 10 months worth of interest expense divided by 12 because the 15% is good for 1 year. We are only interested in the 10 months. So, 300,000 times 15% times 10/12. That would be 45,000 times 10/12. The interest for the 10-month period would be 37,500 pesos. So, we'll just end with this one and we'll be discussing accrued income on our next video.